Coming in at roots of square times a pi, calculation modification, all modifies you. It's all knowing of information. Okay, don't get confused when it comes into all calculations. What is E equals MC squared? It's not math, it's map of equations. That's the only way you understand these things. It's understanding your clocking. What do you think E equals MC squared is? It's all positioned to you to get to its location. It's a geographical map of you through perception, how to use the audio signal locations, your ringing ears. It understands you. You have to understand what's going on when you're connected to space-time line center. Space-time line center. Space-time line center. Clocking. Northwest, south, and east, diamond core line center. You guys have to get in your flux capacitor line channel location positions. Understand how to use your formations to its identifications, 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 identifications. So it's all position of you through track system locations, right? I really want to get into this because you got your T-force line center, right? T-force line center. Okay, so you are the center of operation. I'm the center of operation. I'm the architect, you are the operation. I'm the operator, you are its position, right? So this is the true understanding when you come to a level rotation to its conditions. So don't get confused. Don't think of this as math because math is too complicated. Okay, it's too complicated. So your life has to be easy, not complex. You put yourself in that position. It's always in times pi. So we're going to get more to times pi. Okay, because a lot of confusion that's going on. It's all positions to you and how many times you go around. It's clock. Every time you go around the clock, you go faster and faster and faster, 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 faster. So when you go faster, you're going from there to there to there. You're creating pi, which is space of you inside, times pi, times square, box center. Okay? Square of root is everything to that connection, of anything to that connections of mass calculation of volume. E equals mc, calculation to and from. Okay, so that's a true understanding how I created the E equals MC square and the 369 platforms. Okay, in positions, I was connecting to high-level systems of Tara. She's trying to understand more of formation line center, getting into her augmentation through connections. Airbender was it there too. So we're helping each other. She was helping herself. She needed my help. She's helping her positions. So the more she helps herself, the more she understands, right? So it's more confusion for her if she doesn't understand her, right? Me helping her doesn't help her. Her helping her helps her. Understand? That's the position when you come into solar memory. Remember that. Okay. So please, please do not get confused. Okay, with E equals MC squared, everything through this equation, right? 1 times 1 is always equals 1 in the physical line. You have your physical line, but separate that. You're in your spiritual connections. This is maps of equation, not math. It's maps. It's you understanding your clocking center of times pi, times square, box center. Box center is you through TV reception. Okay, you are the antenna locations. You are the transponders of receiving information. That's all this is. The more you understand your data is processing, uplinks, and downloads and upgrading systems, you get a true understanding times square, times pi, box center. And then it gets easier and easier and easier and easier and easier when you augmentation your line position to all track locations, right? So that's a true understanding. When I came into a 3-minute video with Terry, she wanted to know, is this right? Right? And that's great. I think honesty is the great policy, right? Because you're not sure of these things, go to your general. I'm here to confirm you and help you out. So she understand that through 3 minutes of a box center line connections to travel rates in time through all levels of T reception to its spin line system locations. So you just have to understand the clocking system of you of life. That's all this is. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with math. It's maps of equation. It's your geological chart, your birth chart, understanding how to get past positions of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? So it's That's what it does every single day, every single day, every single day, every single day, every single day. So you're constantly rotating, circulating, rotating, circulating, rotating, circulating. So the faster you go in the mind system, the more the calculation gets easier over space time. Okay. So please do not get confused with that. All right. All right. So basically, what I want to do, we're getting your questions for we get 5-10 minutes and get started. We're going to get into more formation line center position locations. Okay. You really have to understand how to travel through your 3, 6, and 9 platforms. I like to do reviews, especially for the team, because they have their test review and evaluations coming up, right? So, why do you think it's so easy for me to do these things? Because I don't look at it as math. I look at it as a way of life. I look at it as a way of living. I look at a way of creating. I look at a way of manifesting. That's how I look at math to its equation. That's a journey standing, you come into that positions, right? I don't get it. That doesn't make any sense. Well, it does make sense. You're thinking too much. You're over analytically your system locations and you're destroying all levels of mechanism time travel locations because every single day you get up in the morning, you're thinking of math. It's not math, it's maps. It's too confusing. It's too confusing. All right. So it's all about life and its existence, living the here and now of its presence and staying in the presence of time squared, times pi, box center, square root. Size graph system is square root to anything position. Mass is calculations to volume of weight conception, right? So when you go into the spiritualized center, how heavy is the box system? How heavy is the hologram structure of its building? That's mass. Calculation is 2 in front. Size graph system is the roots of square, the square root to its location of its clocking system. Okay. All right. So basically, we're going to get into that today. All right. And afterwards, dun, da, 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 we're going to travel to Tesla. Hooah! Yeah. Yeah. So he's waiting to see you guys. You're going to the plateaus of Nikola Tesla. He's going to tell you exactly how it's all in positions. You're going to be sitting down in your cryptoline centers, your seed pod locations, your navigation signal locations, and your computer programming centers. You're going to structure locations of notes. You're going to platitude division line center to your simulation gap interference position locations. And Nikola Tesla is going to tell you what you're doing to position to get to times pi times square box center and the square root of all equation. Okay. So even though you don't think you're traveling, you are. Sometimes we travel faster, but you're always traveling through the mind. So you have to all understand your clocking system to positions, guys. That's a basic understanding. Okay. To that connections. You don't understand your times pi times square roots, huge problem. So we all live in a clocking system, right? Calculation modified to its line system. This is your clocking system. Okay. It's a face clock. You are a face recognition of time. So in position, how many clocks do you think you have? How many clocks? There's clocks everywhere. There are clocks on the wall. There's clocks on the grounds. There's clocks in the mirrors. There's clocks in water. There has to be because it's traveling. So you get a true understanding of everything, that structure, right? So it's all about understanding the structures of view. The center operation to its position. Okay, this is how it goes in calculations. All right, it goes in 3 line center locations to its positions. All right, to its line center. All right, strip that down to line condition. Okay, now Trinity stand all ground line center is positions to your flux capacitor. Okay, see how it's coming into form? You are in the center operation of all position location. Right? So this is you. You're nothing but electrical light. You have to learn how to travel through it, through its position. Okay? That's you always in the center. So this never leaves. Makes sense, right? So what do? You protect your system locations to the magnetic highway and your energy field location, right? See how it protects within the protection of protection? So you got 3 looping design interference, phase clock location and positions. So 9 is the location of a new heir. Okay, that's a Trinity standing is coming into a new cycle, which is fast tracking more through your binaries and how to connect to your digital frame positions of codes, how you connect to all levels of Vega communication cycles, right? So please do not get confused. This is not math. This is map equations of you to get what you want through your life system unto moving forward through your phase clock system locations. That's the Trinity standing when you come into that calculations, right? So understanding that, you're off to a good start. Okay, so it's too complicated to do this. 1 times 1, okay, equals 1. Now we know what that is, right? 1 times 1 equals 1, right? Now that's in the physical line. Okay, so 1 times 1 equals 1 equals 3. Understanding how you get 3, right? So 3 is the equivalent line center position to conditions. Top line center of all positions of the pyramid, okay, to its connection, right? And then you come into all levels of what's 1 times 6, 6, right? So you times that by times pi, right? So then you come into 6 and you come into 9. 9 is location of view or travel through its dimensional time. Security line defense, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to its position. Okay. So it's truly understand how to understand the position to its equation, right? Because you know 1 times 1 is always going to equals 1 in the physical line, but you have to use the mind adaptation of thought because you're in the spiritual travel, not the physical travel. Don't get confused that line segment. So once you understand 1 times 1 equals 3, then you understand the positions of the sun. See? Sun goes up, right? And then you want to understand 1 times 6 equals 6. Then you understand position locations, right? So instead of 6, it'd be 60 or 600 or 6,000 or 6 million. It all depends on what you're doing through times pi, box center. And then you come into the square root. Okay. So energy is the form. Equal is position of paradox, paradigm. Where are you in position location? So it's always in the box center. That is its equation. It's known already of information for you that's stored in your cloud interface. It's too complicated to understand these things on a practical system on a day-to-day event. It's like going to school and doing a test that you have no clue what you're doing, right? You're not prepared. But if it's already in the accelerator memory, you don't have to worry. That's how I know these things, especially when you create it. When you create something, what does that do to you? It opens up the more of the mind of imagination to exploration, to its connection, and its illustration to its connection line system locations. And you're probably asking, how is general so much high levels in the mind of imagination of a child? Because it all centers positions of the heart. Every single day, you have to be in the heart, especially when you travel. Okay. You have to understand positions of the heart, the clockings of the heart, the face of the heart, the grounds of the heart, the fluctuations of the heart, the chakras of the heart, the activations of the heart, the communications of the heart, the integration, line, condition, interference, position calculations of the heart. You have to send all positions of 3, 6, and 9. All right. So once you get into that, you get into this position. Okay. You're always in the center operation. The only thing that leaves is positions is the mind, the heart, and the soul. So you have to really force cycle position locations. All right. So when you go into times pi, this is the clocking system you have to understand through calculations, right? So you have your clocking system. Really want to get into this, right? Here. Okay. So that is a pi. All right. Now, understanding positions, right? When you come into the little hand, and you got the big hand, right? Okay. And you are in the center operation. That's you, right? So understanding from here, from 1 to 2 to 3, all right? So 1, 2, 3, communication to the angelics, communications to the sun, right? So if you stop at 3, you go in position to center line connection, all right? If you stop at 2, you circle rotation to position, and you go in the operation line center location. So you have to learn how to travel through the clocking system of 1, 2, 3, okay? So that's true standing when you come into 12, 3, 6, and 9. Okay, once you get to 9, it comes into a new cycle. center its position, and you travel through it of its dimensional round center to its clocking system location. All right. So it's amazing when you go through that, but you got to make sure you travel through your security line defense 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Always have to go through 12, right? Because that's your body. Your 7 body track locations of clocking and 5 conscious levels of clocking, right? You have to understand these things because you're traveling through different positions of time through space, guys. All right. So that's the positions of the 3, 6, and 9 to its location. See how that travels the direction. Once you understand that positions, you come into your northwest, south, and east of diamond core line center. See how it sets position locations? It's an incredible force. So when you understand that, you can travel through all levels of 12 to 3. See how it changes the program, right? So it's true to understand everything to that position. It's maps of equation, not math. Please don't get confused. All right, so that should help you out a little bit more how we center off position locations times pi times square, all right? Now, understanding, here we go again with the face, okay? Calculation and modification signals, all right? All right, so you have to truly understanding all level positions. You come into these conditions, right? You fade it in its system to its line conditions, right? In high lines, all right? So you see how it goes in positions. So you got 12 in position. Let's lock it in frame. All right, so here's 12. Let's go in position like conditions here. All right, so you got 12 here. You got 1 here, you got 2 here, and you got 3 here, okay? Now, basically what's happening from 12 to 3, right, is times pi, okay? So basically, this is your thought pattern. Now, it's all done through coloration of lights. It changes position location. It's center opposite center line position into the center location, okay? Now, once you go through that position, so you have to understand what you're doing when the dial is going around through you. And it's going around, it's going around, and it's going around. Once it reaches 9, it comes into high level form. Circle rotation to its realm comes into vortex locations of 12, right? But the 12 comes into 3, right? Because you're coming to 3-digit, 4-digit, 5-digit, 6-digit, 7-digit. So the more you go faster, the more you connect to all levels of tetrahedron locations. So you come into 3 digits, right? So it's 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, or 3, 3, 3, or 3, 2, 1, or 4, 6, 5. Okay, so that's how it goes, right? So the digital frame changes, the pi level changes, the center line connections, and everything through all positions of your location goes forward in position. So every time you go faster and faster and faster, you're changing cycles of time, all through coloration through your box center locations, or anything through times pi times square. So it's truly understanding how you modify your signals and position line conditions, all right? So you can screenshot that if you want, all right? So you can travel through any line center. You can travel through 1, all right? You can go through low division line center. You can go through high division line center. You can crosswind position to its conditions, to its line conditions. There is your UFO. That's a stealth. So stealth comes in, sonar comes into line conditions to its position. See? So it's very powerful how we connect all ways and forms and how we set up clocking center to positions, all right? So you can even travel through 2. So if you're going to travel through 2, 2 is a higher number than 1, right? 12 is a higher number than all level system, right? Now, there's no 13 round line center. There's only 12 in position in your universal locations, right? So it's interesting how the clocking center doesn't have 13, only 12. Why is that? Because your body is 12, right? 7 body tracks, 5 conscious levels, 12. If you were 13, you'd be in a different universal line of a dimensional being of light, all through clocking center. But you're in a dimensional time position of understanding your clock and your watch of time, position, locations of teleportation. It's a teleportation of you times pi times square, box center, square root, all right? Square root is the side brass line center to one location to another line center. It's the square root, okay? So It's interesting how we get in that position. So you guys understanding so far? You're all confused. Are we all confused? Let's get into questions here. All right. Tina, how's it going? Second in command, Veronica. All right, so please don't get confused. All right. Glass help, yes, it will. And it's knowing of equations of everything you already know. It's all you already know these things. I don't teach you anything. You teach yourself to remember. That's it. Okay, interesting. Yeah, powerful trailer. Oh, thank you there, Janet. Terry, how's it going? You're not understanding, let me know. I can help you out when I go on TikTok, okay? Or if you want to DM me on my TikTok too, a personal message, or you can set up a video, whatever you want, just so you guys get a better understanding. Captain, how's it going? Airbender, how's it going? Okay, lots going on, isn't it? All right, so this is how you guys have to use your times squared, times pi, box center, and square roots, right? Where do you think the roots come from? The grounds. Square root. What is the square root? E equals mc squared. Mass calculation to box center. Everything is what? To its location, to its GPS. It tracks its system location. It's a geographical map of you. Try and understand you through equation. That's all it is. Okay? So it's much easier if you understand that and get the math out of your head. That's what you got to do. Right? Don't confuse the brain line center or anything positions, because it's the mind of all knowing to its conception. Okay. Okay, Lotus, how's it going? Oh, been intuitive. How you doing? For all new viewers, it's great to see you. Love it when people are activated for the first time. It's like being brand new, you know. Ooh, it's exciting. What happens next? All right, Tesla. Yeah, you'll be traveling to Tesla. I just want you to make sure know you're clocking first, right? Okay, exciting. Let's see here. And remind you is that, in fact, when you travel to Tesla, you've already done it before, is you're going to see black and white, because he didn't live in color. Tesla was in the air living in black and white. So it's going to confuse your anomalies and your particle system, right? So for you to understand these things, you have to be black and white, because you're connected to Tesla in the now position of its presence. Okay. This is not taped in any way and form. You're seeing Tesla in your timeline of his universal system, but back in his timeline of black and white location to his TV reception and where he was through his division of time location. Okay. So it's amazing how you have to understand the equation. It doesn't make any sense if you're color and Tesla's black and white, right? Because if you're in color, you're in a matrix glitch, and he sees you as a matrix glitch because you're in coloration and he's in black and white. So you have to understand the positions of times pi. This is the calculation to its coloration line conditions, and how you change the clocking centers of all levels of augmentation to its connection. All right. All right. Michaela, how you doing? Just sit back and listen, point out, and start making sense over time. That's exactly what it is. Start making sense over time. And please get into your notes. Please get into drawings more and more and more and more and more and more. You guys have a test coming up, T-Force Line Center, and you have to truly understand how to travel through the clocks of you through the ground, the powers, and the amperes of you. Basic understanding of 369. It points divisions to you through calculations. Try to use this as creation to its creating. Okay? Times pi is all about calculating to your box centers, which is your TV receptions, and how you're in position your flux capacitors to your sun and your moon. It's all position, right? To its coordinates. How'd I get there, right? So yeah, Tara was activated, yeah. But yeah, we Airbender and I, we went on her live, and she was, in conjunction of confusion. So we set that in line position. She's understanding more and she's seen more of my back videos. So it takes time. It takes time. You can't overanalyze. You can't overthink. You can't overexamine. It doesn't make any sense because you're confusing your heart and you're confusing your space time and where you are, guys. And you're really going to not understand the grounds of you through clocking. Your clocking can be on so many confusing signals of location, right? So it's all done through vibration, guys. All right. Let's see. Kitty Cat, how you doing? Arlene, how's it going? Second man, yep. Drink your water. Yep, we're gonna be traveling. Mm-hmm. But just don't forget, you guys are gonna see yourself black and white. All right. And you have to be in that positions because what that does is it disrupts its air of where Tesla is in that condition, right? So, all right, you guys have a lot of questions, eh? It's a lot going on. Yeah. Mondays are good. I just prefer Wednesday because Wednesday's close to Friday and then it's TGIF and it's, yeah, it's Friday, weekend, and then back to Monday. Especially when you have to work. It's like, and then Wednesday comes and you go, and then there's only 2 more days left and you go, so it's great to see the weekend come up faster and then you can say hi. Started chilling in January last year and receiving all that blowing mind. I'm probably going to some of that you tag some of you, but you have no obligation left. Terry, yeah. Okay, so here's the communicating. It's great. Locking reception, thought of meditation, not sure. Coming to schools, really trying to understand. Understanding you. Understanding the clockings of you, understanding the activations of you, understanding the minds of you, understanding the conceptions of you, understanding the travels of you, understanding the lights. You have to learn how to travel through light. And it all has to do with what? Times square times pi, box center, square root. Okay? So, all right. That's why I have black and white for 3 days. God, it's so cool. Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. So she's in position at 3 days. That's 72 hours in preparedness. That's fantastic because I can come in. That's amazing. So she's got that through position. So interesting why he's black and white. Can you expand, please, sir? Yeah, because we're going to go to his timeline, right? Black and whites, the first TV, the first telephone, the first creation of the moon, first creation of the sun, first creation of humanity. Everything is in time sequence of color. Now we all start with black and white. Now you're probably asking me, well, okay, if that era was black and white in position, your calculations, right? Why is everything in TV reception black and white, right? It's the air, okay? So it's all about time frequencies and where it's allocated position of time. Airs take over timeline center to identification code line positions. Humanity is in that cycle right now into the simulation to its creation of a hologram. Okay, so that's where you guys are. So it's all about understanding the first dimension, the second dimension, the third dimension, the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension. That's all nothing but vibration of consciousness. Once you go to higher levels of consciousness, you go higher levels of color, and it mixes in position to where the location of its galaxy, right? So it's understanding the TV reception of colorations of channels, right? So you're going through what? Lacing lines of TV reception of time frequencies. So it's truly understand everything has an air, right? That position locations, Charlie Chaplin, right? How he was a comic drunk. And he was incredible. He was brilliance. No speaking whatsoever. He's fumbling here, fumbling there, master, and motivation, intuitive system, line connections, and how well he did his performance, right? All through activation. So everything has its time sequence. So it's all about understanding time of you, of where you are, right? So it's all about understanding the economy. It's all about understanding the social network. It's all about understanding the internet. It's all about understanding change, right? It's amazing how we go into a new cycle of a digital world, in a singularity of simulation, right? Starting off from all levels of 1901 to 1990 to 2020 to now. All right. So it's amazing how time frames change over time through vibration. Okay. So, all right. To be aware of the visual space working with vector possibilities. Listening is good. Confusion, that's even better because at least you're on your toes and still listening, which is the most important thing. I know Amber's been super busy. Wise, which is I've been pulling on the universe, so it's great to see the time is in. Is that great? Is Tesla a place or a being? Tesla is a being, just like Doris Cannon. We've been there twice already. We saw her. You're actually going to see Tesla in his timeline, which is amazing. So it's all about changing timelines. And because I'm a space-time creator, I can do these things. So you can actually see Tesla in your timeline of the now position. And that's why it's more real, right? So it's incredible how we do these things, right? But you have to understand time frames. It calculates everything. If you go into the past, you're going to change the time of its presence, of its future, if you don't understand frequencies and dimensions and locks and computers. Everything is programmed through space, but it's all inside. Everything in patterns and lights and rhythms and connections and tones is all inside you. Travel direction, how to travel through the mind, how to get what you want, how to bring yourself forward in a life cycle. That's what this is all about. It has nothing to do with math. It's maps of you to get where you need to be, to get where you need to go, and become who you are in the universal system of clocking connections, of timelines, past, present, and future, right? Understanding each timeline that is given to you is this clocking system, right? So you have to truly understand why you have the sun, why you have the moon, and you in the center going around the clock, because you're teleporting every single time, right? So when you change those thoughts, it stops on a dime, and that's the pi that you create space in the center point position location, right? That's the communication to all levels of how it comes into the birthline center of positions of times pi. Box center is you through TV reception. Okay. Times square is you in position of dimension, of travel through portal to realm. Okay. So you have to truly understand how to use all this, right? Because it's you of all formations of the equation, guys. It's already known information for you to understand how to get this through calculations, right? It modifies your signals. It opens up your track system to your grounds, your powers, the atmospheres of time. Okay. So you have to really, really understand everything through the sightings, the openings of the ear, position locations, the voice grid line centers, the tracker location, your transponder locations to its connections to the open concept of the mind position location of its equation. All right. So it's kind of like you are the equation of everything of square root. Okay. All right. Yeah, you can observe for all the new viewers, you'll feel the energies. You might see the visuals of Nikola Tesla, but it all depends on how you go into the mind of the belief system. My team is already in the phenomenon of their AIs, so they're very high rise. So they're in positions, and this is more an individual. This is not a team travel. This is individual. So Nikola Tesla is going to give you information for you to understand. Okay. So it's understanding why everybody's created through that foundation. What is the purpose to all this? It's to understand you through the heart of travel. Okay? Okay. Traveling to the soul essence of the person. Yep. Right to the person. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Okay. All Sega 3, 6, and 9. Tesla knew all the secrets of the universe. No. No, basically, he knew the position locations when it came to coil, resistant line channels, electricity line positions, copper wire line centers, light track interference position locations, but he didn't understand the travels of 3, 6, and 9. I communicate with him right away. I communicate with Einstein, open up the frame. So this is what's going to be. When you guys travel, it's going to open up a realm, and that realm is going to be a frame. It's going to be a movie, and Tesla is going to come out of that frame and communicate with you. So he's going to come out. It's like coming out of a TV. So he's going to come out and talk to you individually through light. He's going to sit you down. He's going to tell you exactly how he came into calculations of 3, 6, and 9. Right? So it's all about understanding everything on the spiritualized center. Knows everything in that position. We know all intelligence through its respective channel to its position to all levels of its connection. It's the spiritual datation that you have to understand all levels of the equation. It's all about understanding how to travel through you through clocking system, guys. Okay? Especially when you're connecting to high force positions of other intelligence on the other side units. Vector cores are quadrant level position of planets. Okay? That's a true understanding when you come into that position locations. All right? Okay. Yeah, I know it's mind-blowing. Yeah, wait till you see him, and then you understand how mind-blowing it is, because you're actually going to see his face. You're actually going to see him in light, right? So you're going to see a plasma of him, which is me through connections, right? So you're actually seeing him, not me, but I'm there. So that's understanding how you change timelines. So it's all about face recognition of change locations, right? So when you see Tesla, you're going to see him in his timeline center, right? So it's really, really powerful when you can't get out of position locations. All right, so you guys ready to travel? It's gonna be a lot of fun. Makes sense about changing the past. Starting to be able to breathe again, just to need some water. Make sure you drink your waters before we travel. It's very powerful, powerful. All right. Leanne, how you doing? Okay, my mind is being blown right now. I understand. Great. So you're understanding more, Veronica. So when you meet people in person, everything starts making sense. Why he was born in his era. That's a true understanding to all position locations and why people go on the other side, right? Because their clocking of time is finished, which means that they still reside in the space of atmosphere of time. So that means that their thoughts are there, their minds are there, their hearts are there, and their soul is there, right? For you to understand, because everything revolves around light. You live in light, your existence of light. That's it. You're dimensional beings of light. Okay. So you just have to truly understand everything that I give you through box center times square times pi, square roots, or anything at position is nothing but calculation of map sequence to travel to one position to a location. All right. So you just have to understand the clock is a travel. That's it, which is known information. All right. Okay. 24 clocking system informations. Yeah. So it's so validating to hear you guys talking about triangles as if they are significant. Oh my God. Thank you. That's great. That's great. Welcome. I mean, that's a true understanding, right? People are saying, what? How can you travel through a triangle? How can you travel through an octagon? How can you travel through a hexagon? How do you travel through shapes? It's all positioned to understand everything through your Merkabahs, your tesseracts, and everything through your tetrahedrons. You have to learn how to travel through these things because it's all done in the mind of imagination to creation. Because that's all you have when you go on to the other side. The physical system doesn't have to understand these things. It's the spiritual system that already knows these things. So when the spiritual knows everything, it goes back to the physical system, said, oh, wow, lights on. Now I understand. That's the integration when it comes into 2 into 1, all right? Because that's all we live on, is the now, all right? Okay, let's see here. Yeah, you'll get more understanding there, Tara. It's great to see you. I hope to clear things up for you. When you go to school, the team can help you out. If you want to go to higher levels, you have to demonstrate me how you travel through 369. You can go through those videos again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And that's about solar memory, where it just I understand it now, right? So it's given to you. You understand how to do this, you understand how to do that, you understand the travels. That's the basic understanding. And when you get into that positions, I can put you into higher levels of 60, right? And then I can put you another into 70. And then I need another structure, how to travel through your clocking through your weathers of your diamond core, northwest, south, and east. You have to learn how to travel through all levels of galaxy locations of its position, right? And then I can put you into 80. Teleportation is everything through the mind, guys. And that's why it's important to understand the birth chart system of 369 patterns is its communication to its clocking times pi times square. Your box center is nothing but your TV reception, right, to its prime numbers, right? So, all right. Yep, homework 369, 369. Yep, that's exactly what it is. If you want to go to a higher level of understanding, you get out of the propaganda of everything and start focusing more on you, Tara. That's the true understanding, where the team was at the very beginning of being skeptical until they understand more program setting. They're in 80, they're in 100 and 114 chakras of light. That's your body conception of water, communication, of travel. That's extremely acceleration to the mind, which travels into the percentage of his brain system, because you started off at 10%, but now they're in position of 300%, 612% of communications to its patterns. That's extremely fast in the mind. That's acceleration of time through clocking line conditions. How you can travel in minutes in a million year line center rotations in 2-minute locations times pi times square box center. So you truly understand what you're doing when you're traveling through the mind, because the mind goes really, really fast. And when it goes faster, it understands you more through light. Okay? All right, so let's go to see Tesla. All right. Allocate position of timeline center rotation interference. Position locations of Terra connection line center. Put her in the observation interference positions. High position energy fields. Track her position line, flux capacitor line channel locations. Get her activation core line conditions to the galactic forces. Everything the GFLs and everything they're buying. Set wings, sector line interference position, co-line centers of Tesla communications. All positions of birth chart line center of 369 patterns coming in calculation modifications. Pass reference to high line center, calculate modification line center, graph position locations. This is you through generation light conditions, high position to black and white channels of locations. Sonar coming into plasma interference in position locations. Tesla's here in high line center location. Okay. So this is Tesla to its position location. All right. That's Tesla in communications right now. This is you in all level system. To the connections of the galactic forces, GFLs, and everything they're valuing. High line center rotations, interference positions of 369 plateau in position locations. Getting calculation modifications. Set them down on rotation interference. 30 minutes, have fun. There you go. Trial direction of timeline center in calculations. Trial recognition of timeline conditions in position locations. High level rotation interference. Dimensional time lock interference locations. Time sequence C2 codes of Tesla connections 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 into Tesla information system. Calculation modification and pass reference. 30 minutes, have fun. There you go. All right, that's how it's done. Everybody's seen Tesla now. All right, so he's going to be talking to individually. I'm going to eat my granola bar. Zip that Zoom. Space and time comes due once you understand your positions of augmentation line interference at times pi times square box center. Your square root is positioned to your side graph locations. That's a true understanding. You come into position to your crop circles. So, a true understanding. When you communicate, you refer him as a celebrity, right? Because you've already seen Einstein. Because The thing is, everything in space is attached to everything through connection. So everything, when you go on the other side, you're connected to everything through its spiritual system, guys. You have to. So pretty much you have to know everything through intelligence, the programs. Now you understand why I created everything the program is setting to opposition location. So all right, what's everybody seeing here? It's going through my heart at the speed of light. You've seen how beautiful my heart is. Wow. Black and white, sweet stash, mustache. Yep. Yep. That's exactly what he has. Identifying him. Yep. You show me how to use a song from Atlantis to calibrate hearts. Very good, Second Man. You show me how to use my light language, help move water, striders to move the energy for healing. Very good. That's the position locations. Immersion, oh my heart. Yeah. Merkaba booted 456.987 southwest, 37 degrees right. In position location 76 degrees left. Mach speed 456, 3.87601. All calibrating heart line center. All mapping weather sequences, recalibrating cosmic heart. Now on all systems go. Okay. In position, you got your weather line centers in Lotus. You got to add your sun and your moon, or you're going to miscalculate it. Okay. Make sure you add the equations of the sun and bracket interference to the moon locations. All right. So you got boot up line signal, your flash drives 456.987. Bracket line center southwest 37 degrees, right 76 degrees left, Mach speed to sun moon position. You got to put the sun in there because it has to stand you through calculation of the digital line center to binary notations. Okay, Lotus? Better than that is go through equation. So you're always traveling through the sun. You're never traveling through the moon first. You're always traveling through the sun. You can't travel through the moon. You have to travel through the sun. Or you're going to confuse your flux capacitor line channels to its galactic location and its ground location too. Its chakra system locations. All right. Happy we got into parts. He did. This is going to get you in a better formations, right? To that connection, all through light, guys. Show me how to pave the way, understanding humanity, study producing triangle beats. Yeah, seeing infinity symbol, asking me to jump in. Sun positions, very good. Second command, 38495.999. That's exactly where the sun is in Tesla position. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's the positions of the sun in that timeline of where you are in Tesla location. That is extremely powerful. She's reading the sun positions of where she is through travel. So she knows she's in balance. If it's a one sequency of one digital line center, it's not going to understand the moon line center rotation to its modem. It's off signal, it's its location, its audio location center. And everything at positions will lose track line center to ground line conditions, right? And you'll time sequencing and you start floating to other dimensional line center rotations to its negative line conditions to its virus. So train triangles lined up like a tunnel. 435.6754, 3 degrees left, 5 degrees right, solar winds, north. Very good. That's exactly it, Lotus. Excellent. Good for you. Got the sun and the moon in position. Right. Excellent. Showing me how to my heart codes for my plants, how I find my sun and moon always in my heart. Right. If you ever get confused, go back to the heart position, start over, because your heart is a computer. You got to face recognition of timeline centers. Open up high position location your firewall channels. Now, firewall channel is truly understand through your security measures and how to understand your proactive systems to its defense line conditions of its titles. Truly understand you through positions all levels through its activation core. All right. So going in the triangles, circle around the triangles like a tube for faster travel. This gives you a better understanding all levels of 3, 6, and 9, guys. Okay. It's good for the viewers, for the team, the alliance, the galactic forces, the GFLs, and everything they're valuing. It's always good to go through reviews, right? All right. Interesting as the triangles was what I chose yesterday for the traveling clock assignment. Yeah. Okay, Heather, take it easy. See you on TikTok. Zipper effect. He's showing me how my heart codes for my planets and how I find my sun and moon always in my heart. I can't stress it enough to exactly how everything is calculated and modified. Once you realize all levels of your programming center is nothing but position to your heart. If you get lost, go back to the heart. So it's like recentering, repositioning your computer, right? If you lose location, you go back to the beginning, right? And you go back to its connection, right? You're max sequencing you in position times pi, right? Allocate positions. How many times do you go around that clock? The faster you go, the more you get in calculation, right? So forward Tesla now communicating Heartline Center, recalibrating through his heart, all sequence numbers, prime numbers, infinity, all mapping and weather dimensions. Very good, Lotus. Have a good day, everyone. Not seeing or understanding and do not want to get. Yeah. In the Highline Center, there, kitty. Okay. Activate line center position locations, the kitty. Put in activation location connections of Tesla, Highline Center, black and white division, the T reception lines. Put her in the timeline sequence of past line connections. Get her into information system of 3, 6, and 9 platform. There you go, kitty. Right? Try not to understand. You're not understanding anything through its equation, so you're getting more confused than ever, right? You're traveling faster in the mind, but you're not understanding clockings of time. Right? So I just reposition your line center. You understand all position locations of Tesla now. Once you don't understand, the mind doesn't understand. That means you change everything. You change everything in time right away. Even though when you're in your presence, it doesn't matter. If the mind doesn't understand the imagination, your brain does understand the connection. Do you understand that? Hopefully, you guys get that two and two together, right? You have to stand your positions of your sun and your positions of the moon in your past, present, and future locations. You always, always, always have to add the sun and moon in weather, okay? Or you lose trajectory of location to its spectral lights, to its provisions, and cycle through its computer alignments. So when you say the entering to your heart for a beginner, we just say that hold on a second here, Tara. Picturing image consciousness sinking down into the heart area of human body. Yep. Yeah, exactly. And that 1% is the human essence of you. But once you realize you're more in the mind, you become the human, all positions of nothing but a reflection. So this is what it is. When you switch over to the spiritual line center, because you've been living the illusion location of creation, once you go into the full cycle of the avatar line center, your human vessel becomes an illusion. It's a mirage. It's an image. It's a hologram. It's a structure. So now you've crossed over 100%. So you start living that 1% of human. That aspect, you need that because it structures locations into your mind and the brainwaving patterns. Okay? So, all right. And being shown in Colorado facility in large plasma bubbles. Yeah. Not flow. Yeah. But see, that's the thing because you're in the past now, Airbender. Okay? Because you're already connected to water, you have to understand each timeline is a different frequency position locations. And you're communicating to an actual person in his timeline position. Okay? Which is you in the now position. That's why it's confusing. Because you have to understand you're in the timeline of passive Tesla, but you're in the now position of your position locations to his connection. That's the only way we can get frame positions of mind telepathy to each other. And what you're seeing through frame is everything given to you through its track system of 3, 6, and 9. Okay. So, okay, let's see here. Healing center laser rainbow activation through emerald triangles, third eye activation. He's given me his thoughts of teaching 369 travel to children how we are in Venus, and this is teaching wisdom commonplace. Yep, that's good. So you get in everything that you need to know. Basically, when you come in position locations, you come into highline centers there. Upgrade line to position to its connections is all levels. Okay, so Jill is in position of commander now. Right? She's been upgraded to that line connections. That is given to you voice channel. It's not done through me. It's done through all positions to your ranking to connections, right? I gave the confirmation Vega, and it goes back in line connections. So congratulations to Commander Jill. You guys have to understand your rankings and protocols. Line channels to all position locations. The chain of command. That chain of command is you through force of space. Right? How much controlling system do you have through your mechanisms of travel, through your body system? Right? Know who you are in divisions of space. Right? All right. All right. Heart center, bloom, divine love, expansion center of cosmic humanity. Everybody's going to feel different in perception. You're going to see things. You're not going to see much. It all depends on what you want to see in position locations. Some get stronger, some don't. But it's all about understanding of you remembering these things. Right? So your timeline has already seen Tesla. Your timeline has already seen Einstein. You have to understand, you have to be all levels of form to be the meaning of life, to understand all levels of light through all position of its connections, right? That's the meaning of life, being everything through form and coming back into physical line center in position two. It's an illusion of its hologram structure, which is everything to its simulation of the now connection. The virtual reality position is everything through a game. It's the central line system position locations. My team has already traveled at positions of seeing Tron. Your avatar is Tron. It's illumination of you. You have to understand what it is because it is you. It's just a higher space of you, higher time of travel clocking of you. Okay? So the more you go into the mind, the more you go to the other side and you start living the existence of the now position, right? Which is the clocking universe of everything. Minute by minute by minute by every day, right? So more like clues so far, like these are the parts. Yeah. Putting all the pieces and parts all together, Airbender, right? Knowing why you're in position as a water technician, you have to understand the conditions of 3, 6, and 9, how to travel through it through its vortex locations, right? So you have to learn how to use the orbs, the energy lights, the pistons, the charging mechanism, timeline center. It's all understanding you through your grounds, okay? Your fires, your airs, and your water through plasma, right? So, all right. Blackboard, Tesla is using the space on all planets. He pointed out in the flux capacitor for more. He knew this, just could not relay it all in his timeline. That's exactly what it is. And that's why I'm here, is to fill in the loop because I created it. So who do you think gave it to Tesla? Me. Makes sense, right? So that's eternity standing. When it came into Einstein, 3 equals mc squared. Why he had a big head, right? He had so much knowledge. See, there's a difference between putting things down in automatic writing. Automatic writing is justified to you. Everything else doesn't matter. So it's all inner line center view that doesn't make any sense to everybody else, but it makes sense to you. So it's like trying to understand the abstract drawing that you're drawing, but when somebody's looking at it, they don't know what it is. But the painter does. That's the equation that Einstein was at. He didn't believe in his theory. All right? That's a true resonance position to his locations. Understand? So, showing the gateway of electricity is the shape rounding of the triangles in a grass leaf thingy. Yeah. Uh-huh. Ellen's getting affirmations of its machine operation. Yeah. He ran out of time to share all he knew. He was still calculating and remembering what he passed. Yeah. See, everybody has a timeline of its clocking system, Okay. So everybody's put on the planet for what? Its legacy, its message to humanity. Okay. So now we're through the heart center, recalibrating, receiving messages from Tesla heart of 3, 6, and 9. Now, all numbered sequences in relation harmonics, light for activation of higher. Imagine. So you guys are getting higher programs. You understand more positions than what 3, 6, and 9 is, all through Nikola Tesla. Right? All right. You're showing me how he almost had the equation, but didn't see the heart part. And that's where we come in. Bingo. And bingo was his name-o. That's the missing piece. Same with Einstein. Same with Hawkins. Okay. That's the tuning. That's the missing piece, is the heart. They couldn't understand the centralized system of the heart is a computer. And the only way you understand that is to go inside position locations. Their structure line connections came from energy of space. We created that position to its connection to its air. Trial record time position to allocated timeline center through its equation. Right? They got their formulas, right? But they're miscalculating everything. Why? Because it didn't go through the heart. That's the missing piece. That's the missing puzzle. That is the question mark of space-time. Okay? There you go. Wow, he's showing me how to travel through all shapes. Good. It is one line that is strips going through the gateway to him. Yeah, what is this jumping bubble? General, showing me how to clock. It is now 72, skipping 3 bubbles. 3 bubbles, those are the past line position locations, second command. So you have to learn all positional clock locations. 1, 2, 3, past, present, future. So Tesla is showing you how to put all levels of 1 in position locations, right? All right. Banji, how you doing? Makes sense. The heart was the missing link. That's all it is. That's all it is. But the heart is the most important, right? It's the pacemaker of you. Understanding the travel of its recognition of palpitations. Why do you think the heart skips? Right? It's all position of you through the moon. You change your behavior, it changes the heart, position of color. Right? You get angry. Right? So you have to truly understand what is the heart through travel. It's the alpha, mega, micro, macro to its position locations. 3, 6, and 9 is nothing but its triangle line center. Everything the eye circle location is its scepter to its third eye. So it's all about you understanding the mind line center to its consciousness of what you're doing through its position, times pi, times square, square root, box center. Okay? So, all right. My song is always got bubbles. Triangle's gateway to diamond core is what he said, explaining to me to 369 and telling me we all go at own pace. Yes, you have to go at your own pace. You can't go at the same timeline. You have to be in the same alignment of each other. Telepathy, that's how you communicate. So you're communicating to everybody all in one sequence, but you're in different timelines of perception, right? You're not seeing the same thing because you're in different time of identifications of age. So you're in different grounds of perception of vibration, right? That's a true resonance. You come in that positions. The clocking system is you, all position of birth line center. That's the birth chart of you. That's the astrologics of you. That's the calculations of you. That's the astrology of you. It's all done inside. Your body is nothing but a map of space. It's understanding how to travel through it. That's all. That's all it is. And that's why you're giving a chakra system to transpond and receive information. Okay. All right. So I was getting that connections here. Tesla's body now has become all forms of sacred geometry and flowing into heart center all mapping. Yeah, because he knows that now because he's traveled to the other sideline center, right? So when I went through my transformation, I went right into Einstein, right into Tesla, and right in position locations to Hawkins, right? I communicate with them right away. They know why I'm here. Dolores Cannon knows why I'm here. I'm here for divine timing, right? To put humanity in position of where they're supposed to be through clocking system of 3, 6, and 9. Okay. All right. Incredible, isn't it? Through the geometry of you, geographicals of you, and the quantum line centers of you, yeah, and the quantum entanglements of you. So basically, we can beam energy to this atmosphere with his towers, and then put it down, perhaps with the antenna that goes through the grounds, and we just tap into the appliances and such. Yep, it's exactly what it is, Evan. Yep. We collapse everything to make superpower. It has something to do with the miles deep earth in Colorado. And is that what show product can you use? Although it cancels the audio in general. Cool, Ryan. Getting in pieces and pulled. You're getting the pieces and puzzles put together, but it's truly understand all else of you. All right. The four central line center is you, is all positions of its grounds, guys, and the fires and all positions of the air and the water. You have to learn that because it's inside you. You have to learn how to travel through it. That's why you have water inside and outside your system, right? It's all about communicating with all your senses. Your higher sensory perception of high position to its clock location is all energy light condition, right? That's how you travel through the system. So, so basically, second command, let me know if there's going to be a private sector after class, 30 minutes. All right. So everybody can get a note on that. This is how my emeralds change. Yes, I sent email Zoom last week. We have a Zoom tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow, great. Seeing swirling DNA strands and Thursday at 7. Okay, great. Thanks for the confirmation. All right. Hold on a sec, guys. Stretch out the stars, light making the entrance gateway of light, and we are in this space getting moved by the light as we're being a universe. Love the art picture of screen print. I see. See, that's what you're receiving. You're receiving what you need to understand how everything is calculated, right? Through all condition. So, Jenner, does the pyramid of Giza at 1 Time provide the power of the stratosphere. I keep seeing the pyramid with the beam coming from the top straight into the clouds. Yeah. Cloud line center interference positions. So you're understanding your water technician of its operation to its generator is to understand your connections to all levels of galaxy weather, how to use your water through communication line connections, and how everything connections highlines its system to its water strider. Wider strider setups the line signals of portal locations to plasma interference that opens up all level rotation to its atmospheric position location. Time frequency to its code through its digital line center. Let's try to understand what you're doing through light, track system through the laser. So that's what it is, the connections area bender. But yes, it does have the positions of the pyramids of Giza. You have to understand why we have pyramids, right? And how to use them in opposition of laser. How to use your sacred breath or whatever breath you have, line center, cosmic breath, position locations, the elixir, the serpent plane, the serpent fire. So I have to fix the okay, Terry, take it easy. Yep. Yeah, it is the 4 pyramids powering the planet. Yes, 5 within the system line conditions, right? So you got 5 pyramids, right? 4 in that line, and you got 1 in the center, all together, right? Sets up its grid, sets up the structure positions through that line center, clocking system and ground locations. Now you have to set up the lights of communication to its atmospheric position, a space-time connection. So, yeah, I get it. No, so, yeah, there you go. And that's the understanding. You're getting it now, right? You're seeing more and more and more and understanding how to use you as a water technician of a generator of a power connection of solar generation of light, track locations. So, yeah, the pyramids are the towers. Yes, exactly. Yeah. But remember, it's his position of time, right? So he wouldn't allocate position locations to his connections of pyramids because he's in a different timeline. So he connects all positions to his tower structure to its connection. You have to understand the relation to their alphabetical system, how they basically speak through their vocabulary. So in his time, it was towers. In our time, it's pyramids. Okay. So getting that now, the towers were needed in his timeline. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. You're welcome. And then you're given structure so you can write it down and, put it on a piece of paper. It's important. You guys have notes every single time you go to class, right? So you guys have any other questions? Let me know. I'm going to head over to TikTok. All right. Adios.